Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
It's me back again. It might be a little bit of Friday. How about you, Stan?
I'm all right. Oh, it's Friday already. Nice.
Yeah, it was a busy week. Made a couple of videos and tried to keep on posting on my Telegram, new channel, and so on. So I was thinking about what topic we should discuss today. And as long as you're from Konigsberg, from Kaliningrad, Um, I was thinking if you would like to know more about place where you live and maybe guide me through at the Google Maps so we can, follow some places. Maybe you visited some and just wanted your opinion about Königsberg, why it's so important, and maybe you've learned something about the history of the city. And
Okay.
just what is your first opinion when you arrived there? What do you thought of it prior to arriving, and what was the, maybe something changed when you arrived? Because I know you came there like 15 years ago,
20.
20.
Yeah. Well,
What did you expect, and what
well,
actually really happened when you came?
frankly, I didn't expect anything because there was not so much information about this city. All we heard uh, back in Siberia that it's the most western part of Russia, and it's an exclave, so it's disconnected from main Russia, and it's located between Lithuania in the north and Poland in the south, um, and really not so much information about the city. So I came here to visit a friend, and I was not sure for how long I'm gonna stay in Königsberg, Kaliningrad, and uh, I really, when I came here, I wanted to stay more. So 20
Yeah.
years passed, and I'm still here. Although, frankly, I don't know very much about the city. But maybe, like you said, you will tell me about it because it's your topic.
Yeah, 20 years passed and almost nothing significant. Have you
Yeah.
been, walking around? I mean, did you see a bunch of buildings that are like old or something, or maybe ruins there?
There are some, but the first impression of the city was kind of strange because um, um, after the end of the World War II, the city became, and the whole region became Russian, the Soviet Union state, so to say, and uh,
Actually, it was like kind of cut in several pieces. One was became Eastern Germany and was connected to Eastern Germany because if we talk about Prussia,
yeah,
right?
and one part went
Some
to
came
Poland.
went to Poland,
Yeah.
and most of it went to Kaliningrad district, which are like that, right, located.
Hmm. That's right. And the impression it made that, like, there is not much happened here after the war. I
Very
mean,
silent.
sometimes you just pass by a building and you understand that it's a pretty old one, and you see a big hole in the wall from the Second World War.
So
Uh,
still some buildings are still not repaired, right?
they're not repaired, but the building I'm telling you is uh, is the hospital
Oh,
functioning, and
so like
um,
patients are looking through the wall and
no, 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 the wall is thick, but
okay.
it's not like a through, you cannot see inside, but a big hole, in the wall still. And uh, very many new places started to build after, well, in maybe in 20 years, yeah. In last 20 years, since I came here, most of things started to happen here. But before that, it was not abandoned, but nobody really paid much attention to it.
Hmm.
Although the city is strategically important, I guess, for Soviet Union.
Strategic point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see. I just wanted to show a couple of pictures before we start to talk about other stuff. Just picking ones. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. That's some of your forts that you have uh, around the city.
mhm.
They all red brick. They all kind of, vegetated and a little buried, I would say, but not like we are talking about when we talk about mud flood, but still, they could be excavated already and presented to us this way. Just better to go there by to be there on foot to see what's going on actually. But it looks
Yeah.
like it could be some ancient constructions which were modernized and used by uh, German soldiers during World War II.
Oh yeah. I think they were built according uh, to history, to the common history, like in 17th century.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that because Prussia got this role in Germany in German history as what they say only after 1700s and quickly gained the central role and all these crowning were happening only in Königsberg.
Hmm.
Did you find an answer for that? Why was that city so important?
Uh, Not really. I thought maybe you have an idea.
Well, if we go to official information, let's just come back and let me try to read something. Let's see. Let's go to Friedrich Barbarossa first, because I think it's important to talk about him. Um, uh, what do we know about Friedrich Barbarossa? What do you heard Barbarossa? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Uh, Rosa.
Yeah, it's kind of barbaric Rosso something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or
Something
or if we talk
barbarian
about,
Russia.
yeah, something like a Barbarossa. I mean, those people that talking about um, Northern Africans, talking them, calling them Berber, barbar. Also, Romans were calling barbars somebody who was not Roman, right? Like a
Yeah.
barbarians. And but in Russian, barbarian is varvar.
Hmm.
So it's like um, famous Russian comedian, writer, and researcher in his late years, his late period of life. Mikhail Zadornov was researching this question: why Varvars were actually the name? Because these were the people who were protecting the logistics of mining and salt, which salt was as what they call varili or cooked
Hmm.
uh, on the Baltic shore.
The salt.
Now, salt, yeah,
Okay.
salt. And they were selling the salt through the Russian logistics to the so-called Tsargrad or Constantinople, or we are they call it also uh, second Rome,
Mhm.
right? Not the first Rome, but the second Rome. And this is the connection actually, because Germany and Prussia, they all located on the Baltic Sea, and Zadornov figured out that the island of Rügen probably was their base somehow. Maybe there was a mining production of salt. Maybe they were gathering it from the seashore. I don't know how they work. Maybe they boil in the water. Actually, I'm not actually familiar with the process of how salt can be produced this way, or how they did it anciently, as the officials say. But
Mhm.
anyways, so if we take a look at this guy, actually, let's see. Um, so he is looking this way. Sometimes he's depicted with this red. Uh, let's see, what is this actual name of this stuff in English? King's Cape. Cape, or So he had a red. So also, if we talk about Barbarossa, Rosso is red, and
Mhm.
always there's plenty of connections to that. And he's also his name is in German is Friedrich Rothbard. Roth
Mhm.
is red, I believe.
Mhm.
So this is a connection to the red color, to the ancient Ross Empire. They all wanted to call themselves empires, and it was started with Rome, as what the officials say. Then it was Holy Roman Empire, which was Friedrich Barbarossa, the king of Germany, emperor of Roman Empire. And so, why is he connected to Kaliningrad? Actually, you would say, because he never was in Kaliningrad or Königsberg. He was never, um, somehow related to these bloodlines of Hohenzollers, because he was of different bloodline. Um, he all he did, he was creating those crusades. That was his business actually. He was famous for that stuff. He not only captured a bunch of Roman cities, like Rome, Milan, and other stuff. He also was collecting the crusade, and so he concentrated his energy on the preparation of crusade when he returned home, uniting the best of German knights under his banners. The Third Crusade began in 1189, but here to fate made its own adjustments. The emperor died during the crossing, never reaching the Holy Land. His horse stumbled, Frederick fell into the water with a strong current. When his body was taken out of water, he was no longer showed the signs of life. And there's also a question if he did actually drown. The consensus is that he did drown. However, the debate is how, because of poor relations with the Italian states in the Holy Roman Empire. Because of this, he had to walk to the crusade and he drowned in Armenia. Some sources seem indicate that he fell off his horse while crossing the river in full armor. So he might be just, they pushed him.
And he was
Uh,
too heavy to get out.
Another account recorded that Frederick was thrown from his horse while crossing the river, weighted down by his armor, and drowned.
Okay.
Um, why is this connected actually to Kaliningrad? Because the so-called plan of Barbarossa, right? You heard
Mm-hmm.
about that definitely.
Yeah.
Um, that's a plan of Operation Barbarossa or for Barbarossa, Operazione Barbarossa, was named in the name of King of Germany and Empire of Holy Roman Empire, Friedrich I, with the name of Barbarossa. The plan was created in December 1940s, 1941. And let's see, there's some pictures of it. So it was the sudden attack onto USSR plan, and they were thinking to do it in 40 days or maybe up to 6 months. So it was like pretty much sudden, as you can see. And it failed, just like the Third Crusade of Barbarossa. So after that, the war was changed the direction, and actually USSR struck back to Germany and captured all the land up to Berlin, Austria, and including Kaliningrad. And Kaliningrad was this way given to USSR, to the Russian Federation. That's how Friedrich Barbarossa um, affected to this and took his part, because he was used as a banner of this sudden attack, but actually failed. What's your thought about that?
That's ironic.
Yeah, that's how he was actually presented. So he has much pictures with this red cloth, red stuff, and he
Mhm.
basically um, is famous for for being an emperor, and for being a very interesting character. He was When he was young, he was physically very strong man, but also with very bright mind. He was very nice looking and even a uh, uh, good person to talk with. He was also a good knight. He was very narcissist. He was, seeking for glory. All these military conquering processes. But he was very firm into being a Christian. Okay. Also, so he represents this, I would say, aggression on one hand and wisdom on another hand, and also being true Christian. His main dream was to restore the all great might of Karl the Great, you
Mhm.
know, because but that wasn't succeeded actually, as I've been saying. What
But
he is also let's skip a little bit to Prussia, because Prussia was not always in a part of Germany. Prussia wasn't. Prussia was located at the land near the Baltic Sea, and actually the name of Prussia was Borussia.
mhm.
And if you heard about Hyperborea in Greek, it means like over or behind those forest lines. So Borea is forest, and Hyperborea is forest. So this Borea is, I would say, um, it was starting with Barusha, and probably it is Barusha, and was two Ural mountains. So this is like very long distance of current Russia, Tatarstan, Ural mountains, following to uh, Moscow, and all the way through Belarusia to Prussia or Borussia in the ancient times. So right now, the only Borussia there is Borussia Dortmund, right? And if we actually take P or B from it makes up Russia, right?
Mm.
So all these lands were Slavic lands, and the Teutonic Knights that came to this land in the 1600, in 1400, in 1500, they established so-called the city of Konigsberg. It was founded to historically commemorate the the king Ottokar of Bohemia, which was Iron and Golden King, is what they say. So this is only also related to so-called Bohemian Grove and all this sacrality that we know about right now, which Illuminatis and other secret societies might be using. So this
Mhm.
Czech Republic, this mining land, there's a bunch of mining there, and the King of Iron and Golden King is definitely wasn't the last person there. So commemoration of him, or in other lands, you say that there's another definition of. Could you please tell us?
Definition of what?
Königsberg.
Uh, it's let me see. It's like a berg, like a shore. So it's
King's Shore.
no King Königsberg is like a king's mountain. It's a one
Yeah,
definition.
but if you take a Russian land name in the land like Bereg, not Berg, but Bereg. Bereg is a shoreline, right?
Yeah, shoreline, and Königs is like a duchess, like a
Kнязь.
yeah,
Kнязь is Dutch. And
yeah.
actually, it was Duchy of Prussia. It was another name of Prussia before it became the kingdom. It was called Duchy. So,
Mhm.
might that be actually more correctly to call it this way? Uh, Königsberg, so Duchy's shoreline. So another bright age was started with the Brandenburg. Brandenburg is the Berlin area, actually. So the family line of Hohenzollern, a very famous one, which was actually controlling the Holy Romans for like a couple of centuries, and most of these Windsors, Romanovs, you name it, anyone are related to Hohenzollerns right now. This is the key bloodline, guys. It's very important to understand. So they were having wars with Sweden, they were having wars with Poland, they were having wars with anyone. And so they selected the Friedrich also guy, Friedrich William. Then they were, creating this Elector Frederick the Third, which became Frederick the First. Very crazy situation when you have like, let me just zoom a little bit and find it again. Yeah, here we go. Frederick the First of Hohenzollern dynasty was Elector of Brandenburg and Duke of Prussia in personal union, Brandenburg, Prussia. The latter function he upgraded to royalty, becoming the first king of Prussia. So he became king from 1701 to 1713. But he was really Frederick the Third. So he took the name of Frederick the First to kind of, connect himself to the sacrality of Barbarossa, because Barbarossa was also Frederick the First. You see this connection? So he switched his
Yeah,
name to take his sacrality, the sacrality of Holy Roman Empire, trying to become great again, trying to not only trying but succeeding to capture Italy, succeeding to capture Milan, Rome, and even assembling a couple of crusades, right? So he was trying to, probably make his place in his life more sacral and make Prussia the sacral land with this Königsberg castle and the coronation there with this Moravian, uh, I would say Moravian mining dynasties, all this sacrality and treasures probably. So this is how the connection became possible, and he was independent from the Holy Roman Empire, by the way, for many years, because kingdom
Hmm.
status gave him a right to be independent from other German lands.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay. By the way, the castle of Königsberg was completely destroyed.
during World War II. Yeah,
Well, I'm not sure, but I think during the war it was destroyed by 50%, like a half of it was destroyed, and the rest was destroyed by Soviet uh, Soviet Union, I guess, after the war.
we can only guess right now because you don't know it for sure. But look at this place actually. Can you see the map I'm showing?
Yeah,
All this stuff is pretty much very strange, terraformed, right? You can see this huge base and these keys, just like we have the terraforming we have in New York area, right? You also
Florida.
have this
Yeah.
stuff here, very strange stuff. I don't know who actually was doing that before and protecting all this shoreline from the storms and all this stuff. Probably, I know Baltic is very windy, right? So
Yep.
that could actually work for the ancients to make themselves a safe haven. But who could have created such earthworks without any equipment, right?
Yeah, that's it's pretty long, by the way. In the north, where it's connecting with Lithuania, it's about I think it's about 40 kilometers long, and
Oh,
there is a
let's just
road going right in the middle of it.
let's see.
And the only way you can get inside the Gulf
You
is
mean
only,
this?
yeah, is only one place. It's up north. Yeah,
Yeah, from
right.
Klaipeda right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So this
And,
was a system of protected area, guys. That's why it was so strategic, because all this Hanseatic logistics, all this black aristocracy, they needed a safe haven, the land of protection from the sea, from pirates, from anyone, because
mm,
they wanted this to be a heartland of the future empire. And after the kingdom of Prussia, the next stage was conquering the whole Germany and creating themselves emperors. And actually, Prussia helped that thing also, because the next stage was uh, what they were doing in the age of German Empire. So the 2 decades after unification of Germany were the peak of Prussia's fortunes, but the seeds for potential strife were built into Prussia-German political system. So Prussia became not only the most important part, but you know the so-called sacral part, The imperial crown was hereditary office house of Hohenzollern, so it was back office, I would say, back base of Hohenzollern. Have you heard about Hohenzollern, by the way, in your city?
Not really. You know, the history, I would say, is being erased. So there is not so much information about ancient period, the you know the the 13th century when it was the Konigsberg was founded. And by the way, in 2000 in 2005 in 2005 the city held a celebration of 750 years of Königsberg. And it all, the center of the holiday, of where all the people gathered, and where the celebration took place, it was right where the Königsberg castle was before.
At the
Not
ruins place, right?
well, it's not ruins for a long time. Right now, there is a Soviet building standing on that place, which is not
Not finished.
not finished since 60s or something, and it's totally abandoned. And what they did for the holiday for 750 years of Königsberg, they put windows in the so there were just concrete walls with the holes. So they put plastic windows. I don't know why, but I think it was some kind of strange action to put walls in that building. And this building was never used again. And every year I hear the story how
You mean the Soviet building? The Soviet building.
the Soviet building. Yeah, it's you can find it out. It's a
Yeah,
Soviet.
just let me just show it to the people. Let's see.
Yeah.
So all these red points are actually the parts of forts that were surrounding this huge Starfort City of Konigsberg. It's a star-shaped city, and here, right here, is the castle.
Yep.
The castle, and let's see if we can go here.
So the name of the building is House of Soviets.
Look at this.
Yeah,
That's the
there
building.
it is. Yeah.
So look at the level of actual difference. So
And if you go forward and take right, you should see
this way?
the. No, back. You need to get, forward and turn right. Right here in the steps. Just turn right, and if you go up the stairs, you will see the underground parts of the castle. Right here. I'm not sure if you can take it. The road the
I'm not sure I can help it actually. Let's see. It's not working the way I wanted it to work because I suck at it.
Okay, if I
Let's
find
see.
it, I'll give you a link.
It's here. Here. Ah, over here. Probably. That's the ruins you were talking about. We can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's right. It's all the fence is going all around, so you cannot get inside. You just can come to the fence, and and take a
Yeah, that's
look.
what we have in Moscow mostly when they excavate something and call it a wall or something. But they excavate it like 9 meters deep.
Mm,
I wonder what was the wall about if it was 9 meters deep. So actually, this reminds me of Moscow excavations when everything is back somewhere on some depth. And but definitely there was a very big place. Let me just find Königsberg castle, how it was looking prior to destruction. Probably this one, right? Do you see it?
mhm. Yep, that's right. So see, the big part of it after the war
So
still
only
remains.
yeah, only this, foundation stones remains
Yep.
here.
Hmm.
Huge castle, guys.
Yep. So instead of renovating it and restoring it, they decided to demolish it completely, and they put this Soviet building on top of it, which is not used.
And not constructed at all.
No, not finished. And I live here for 20 years, and every year I hear that they're gonna demolish it and build some kind of shopping place, entertainment center, and I hear it for 20 years every year. Uh, I think there is something occult in this building. They
Yeah,
want
and
to
also
they want to keep it.
look at this red color.
Hmm.
Also very interesting. Very interesting. Some of those Frederick, the second Frederick, the uh, Frederick from Brandenburg, Prussia, so-called Brandenburg, Prussia, the first king of Prussia. He was also pictured in some pictures as being using red color. Let me find him again. He is so good at escaping. Well, here we go. Frederick William the First. As you can see, red color here also, and this guy also here, also Friedrich, also with red color. So they just love the red color dress. That's how he
Hmm.
looked before becoming a king, being a great lecturer. So probably this is somehow related to the Empire of Rus, and because a bunch of all these Slavic lands, they were saying that Königsberg was. Let's see. Let's find the name of Prussia here. Pum, pum, pum. Historically, a prominent German state was originated with a duchy, so it was a duchy.
Hmm.
In Russian, it says Borussia. The name of Prussia goes from exonym Prussi. In this way, the antique authors called the tribes that were populating the south eastern coast of Baltic Sea. Then was used for locating the state of Teutonic Order, which was also at this land. So basically, they used the land of Balts and Slavs, as I was saying, those who were called Borейцы or Borusi by the Latins and Greek.
Hmm.
Some even call that this is just calling them the Sea Russians, Pomorsky Rusi, like it was like a toponym Pomory on the on the northern coast of Russia. So it's like Cossacks we have on the south, and on the north we had Pomory. Also Pomerania, if you know this name in Germany, it's right now located over here. This yellow
Mm,
Pommern was also part of, but Pomerania, Pommern, and other stuff is also can be connected to ancient Slavic word of the land of dead. And
mm,
there was
mm,
also a bunch of relations to the pandemic, or not pandemics, but epidemics of plague, which was erasing German lands a couple of times. Even the Friedrich, the Barbarossa, had this case when he conquered Rome. All of his troops died of plague, and he's supposed to be capturing Rome, but he ran away from it. You know,
mm.
so that was also the case of Barbarossa. And as you can see, the red color here also on his emblem. Okay,
Mhm,
so I related all to the to the Empire of Rose, which was actually all this European land and Asia and maybe some parts of India.
mhm,
And this is the sacrality that they each and every part of it just stole it part of its sacrality, and they decided to use it to create new state, which would be more, I would say, more authentic than others, more superior, more great. This idea of creating, returning the greatness from the past ages, like what Trump was saying, like make America great again. They also did it back then. Make Germany great again. Make Prussia great again. All this stuff.
mm.
So this is a very old story.
Okay. How they are going to make Kaliningrad great again?
I don't know.
I have some ideas, but I would rather not.
Go ahead. Why not?
uh, no, no, it's okay. you know, I could get charged for separatism or something like that.
Yeah. Lubitsa Vukevich is war. War is in English a war. War is as a theft. You know. So Varvary may be those who protecting the logistics from being stolen, right? So in English you have grab. In Russia we have grabit, which is rob. So all these, all those words definitely connected. War is definitely plunder. When you reach certain victories and a certain lands, you also get the plunder there. So all this stuff that you bring your home and feed. Redbeard, yeah, Barbarossa Redbeard. So hello, hello, hello from Poland. Hi guys. Hope you hanging on there. But by the way, the new explanation about the crisis that Poland having right now, because these migrants supply logistics was working well for a couple of months, and probably somebody didn't share with the Polish guys, is what they say, and it brought some attention because they started to fence the border and keep those migrants away. And right now situation is still not very much solved. So anyways,
Hmm.
I heard Joseph Stalin stole all the gold from Russia in World War II. The police were chasing him, but he got away. Friend from Latvia told me. Well, Latvia guys, They have a bunch of mushrooms there, I believe. Uh, what they found actually at the Stalin's cabinet or office, whatever you call it, after his death, they found just the same old fashion suit that he had in large number, like couple of them, like all the wardrobe was the same suit, the same shoes, the same uh, clothes, and nothing else. They didn't find anything else. So he didn't keep any treasures in his cabinet, nothing at all. And they definitely poisoned him. By the way, right now there's a case, if you haven't heard, Stalin's grandchild and his lawyer sued Russian government to exhumate Stalin from the Red Square, from the Kremlin wall. He has a grave there behind mausoleum, if you didn't know, to
Okay.
exhumate them and bring them to some other,
Where? Georgia?
I, I don't know. Actually, I didn't read exactly where they wanted, but probably
Okay.
Novodevich cemetery, which is. But those fellows that have their relatives buried on Novodevich, which were like a bunch of those were repressed and murdered by Stalin's repressions, they don't want Stalin to be a neighbor of their relatives that he supposedly gave order to kill.
So there's no
Calendar,
place.
calendar, colo, circle, yes. But in some other sources say that calendar is Kalididar. Kalida was an ancient Russian god who was not Russian, Slavic god, who was responsible for calculations and actually they started Kalida celebrations when we right now start in the Catholic Christmas. So it's like 24th of December and a week to the 1st of January. That was a Kalida weekend, and it looked pretty much as you have guys in Halloween. People were just singing, trolling others, gathering tricks or tricks, dressing up in some monsters and other fancy stuff just to scare people and take their candies and stuff like this. So, and also singing, like what you guys have, and a Christmas singing. Kalida was also meaning to sing a song, to get something for singing a song. Uh, Jews have their own calendar, yes. And Slavic calendar is 7,530 is year right now. 7530 right now. A Jewish have like 500, 5,000 something. So Jewish have a lack of 2,000 years in comparison to Slavic calendar.
They can catch up.
Philip Znai Serbsky. No, I don't know. I don't know Serbsky, but well, we've been talking with Serbian guys, and we did understand a bunch of definitions. We have couple of videos about that. So all these connections between English, Serbian, or Illyrian, whatever you call it, Etruscan, or Etruscans were having pretty much the same language with what you guys in Serbia have right now. So I believe so, at least the pronunciation of some words and maybe the root system. But we understand most of what you say, and probably I know a bunch of Polish words because I know Ukrainian language, and Ukrainian has like 40% of Polish words, which are not Russian. They have like 60% of Russian words and like 40% of Hungarian and Polish, I would say. Do you know Ukrainian? Stan?
No. But I can understand. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy. And
Uh,
Polish. I can understand.
Like they saying, do you speak? They say размовляешь. Mova is like in Russian, moving, saying. In Polish and talking, mova. Ukrainian also mova, the language.
Hmm.
Like also we have like you guys never heard about year in English. Where did it come from? Actually, year, a year, a calendar year. Yar was also another name of Kalida. Yar is also the name of sun. Yarilo. Polish guys definitely know this name. So year is the cycle of Yar. That's why it's divided this way. And actually, British don't know the definition of that. They don't know where brother comes from because it's from brat, or grab, steal, battle, fight. What do kids do? What do brothers do? They always fight. They always, and all this is connected to the English and to Russian and to other languages, which are right now European. But Latin languages are also very interesting, and we have to learn them too, because a bunch of definitions in Latin and Arabic also. Because Arabian is not something from the East. Arabian was a language, a sacred language of wise people, the people who were acknowledging different sciences, the people who were going to the universities. At a certain point, East had more universities than the West.
Hmm.
When they had like 17 universities in Spain, when it was Moorish Spain, so-called Moorish Spain, Europe had zero universities. So East is also very knowledgeable. I had a couple of videos about um, sacrality of the East, some Mid East, and they have a bunch of megalithic structures there in Syria and all these countries. Like uh, Turkey has a bunch of them. Also, Libya has a bunch of them. So-called Nubic pyramids. Have you heard about that? Nubian pyramids, which are very
Hmm.
sharp one, like not like Egypt ones, but very sharp one.
All right.
Okay, just want to pop in Russia in my dialect. Woo, pronounced exactly as Horus. Yeah. By the way, there's a legend that when the Russians, so-called Russia was a big empire. Then it came to Egypt. They asked them like, "Who are you?" And they said, "We are Ra. We are like from Ra River, and the river Ra is right now currently Volga, but back then it was called Ra." And so we said we are Ra, and so they like saying like, "Oh, we are." They were saying like the name of Ra, and they were saying we are from Ra. So and they started calling them Ra, and Horus was one of these gods also, probably some name of some follower or maybe a kid of Ra, the guy who arrived first. All this sacrality is just spread out everywhere because it's always related to some budgeting, right? All this construction process is always budgeting. You know about construction stuff, right?
Yeah.
How many constructions did you do in your life, actually?
Well, I was in construction for about 15 years. So many buildings and office buildings and the apartment houses. You know,
Yeah, have you heard about budget?
yeah, of course. What do you want to hear about it?
If you don't have any budget, would you construct something?
If I
very
don't have
big.
any budget,
Yeah,
no, no. You have to have
because it's
money to do
always,
that.
it's not only yet, we getting some slaves from somewhere, some materials from somewhere. It can be probably brought from somewhere to hold, I don't know, whatever, but you have to feed those people, right? And you have to pay somebody to to grow all this food, extra food, right? It's supposed to be extra food, right? You cannot, like, take all this food from somebody, because it's gonna be famine there, and they're gonna just, starve to death. Nobody's gonna give you food next year. So it has to be extra food. So you have to have some extra agriculture, farming, very, I don't say brilliant farming, but very proficient farming, efficient farming, which you can produce extra product, which can be uh, brought to some other places, probably long away from the farm, from the field, and so on. So all these storing technologies supposed to be, I just can't, finish this list of requirements for construction budgeting. I just started to, talk about pyramids in Egypt, how they were supposedly built in 20 years, and found out so many anomalies. And
Yeah,
without budget, without funding all this extra agriculture and farming, you won't have any enough food to feed those people, those slaves or workers. And with only slaves, with uneducated people, you probably won't build anything. Have you been to those forts in Konigsberg? They are like very thick, thick walls, right?
yeah.
Very thick walls, enormous amounts of bricks. There's a whole bunch of brick production. Who would have done that? Slaves? There's
No.
supposed to be some specialists, right? Because this
Yeah,
brick is still hanging on. It's mostly perfect.
and the architecture is very nice. You can see these arcs. You know, it's pretty beautiful for for military object. You know, for military facilities. So they spent some time building it. You
Yeah,
can
definitely, definitely.
you can show the forts. By the way, when you come to the city, we definitely need to go there because most of them are abandoned.
Yeah, I wanted to go to here. That's probably one of the star forts left here, as you can
Hmm.
see. This fortress of Pilau. You're
Yeah,
saying it's really closed right now, right? You cannot
when we
attend it anymore.
you can we spoke about it about this last time, and I told you that there is only 2 hour window when you can get inside, and you can get inside only with a guide.
You
And
cannot even place the person here. I cannot.
no,
Nobody
no,
pictures
because
anything there.
it's a military object.
Hmm.
There's like a military base inside. And, uh, I'm pretty much sure that it's unused, but the security level is pretty high. And when you go inside, that's what I heard and read in the overviews of the people who are tourists who went there. You have about an hour inside this fort, and you cannot see much, and you cannot go left and right. You just have to follow the guide, and it's not very interesting. And there are also restrictions about shooting photos and videos inside, but it would be nice to get inside. But I'm talking about the abandoned forts. uh, well, in some of them it's not really safe to walk. You have to like look around, take a good flashlight with you, and uh,
Hmm.
and uh, it was really strange, and I always wondered why wouldn't they restore them and make like attractions for
Yeah,
tourists.
tourists. Yeah, tourist money. They bring money, but nobody wants to bring people there, right?
Yeah, 12 forts and only one working, and it opened about, I may be mistaken, but about 5 years ago. Because one of our classmates came here to Königsberg, and he told me, "Show me the fort number 5," which was the like the most famous one. And we went there, and there was like a fence around it, and we had to get through. And it was like a, I don't know, place for homeless people, and
Asylum, asylum.
yeah. And next year they took the trash out and cleaned a little bit, but it's still, it looks okay.
And not asylum. It was a trap house, I would say. A, yeah, where all these homeless people are probably having parties and drinking. You know. Yeah, and people just say that you cannot probably do all these earthworks there with shovels, right? You have to use some machinery. I've been showing this stuff. Let me show it again, guys. uh, just imagine how much work to create such enormous shoreline and a bay here. This is not natural. And how many amber do you find on the shore?
Well, after the storm, you can actually find different stones of amber, but they're not big, like maybe half an inch in diameter the most. But you can find it on the shore.
Oh, okay.
So
So
it's nice.
amber is what they say is remainance of ancient trees, right?
Yeah, mm, yeah, that's right.
Also, very interesting case because it's half precious and it's worth a lot actually when you sell it in a big native amber. You can make a lot of money if you find a big one. You even have amber museum here.
Yeah,
Look at
it's
that.
just 10-minute walk from the place where I live.
Also located in some ancient construction.
Yep, and there is nice lake nearby. But these are modern. Modern. It's not
Yeah,
that
this is
expensive.
Guggenzollern's coat of arms here. See this eagle?
Hmm.
Ah, this is a amber room, so-called Emperor Amber Room. I believe that. There's a whole bunch of stories about that. I should make a single video on Amber Room. Very interesting case. And very interesting place, actually. We should go there if I finally visit.
Yeah, you should. You can get on the plane without QR codes or something inside Russia. So
Yeah.
hop on the plane.
Well, I hope that was just an introduction video. Uh, we're discussing uh, filming possibilities of Stan. I might send him, if not myself, but I'll just send you a camera so you can walk around and film something when you have time. Uh, hope it
Sure.
was informative We tried not to waste your time, guys, and because it's Friday, everybody has business, and maybe having a little drink or a cup of coffee. I don't know. What are you planning to do, Stas?
Uh,
Is that a secret?
no, it's not a secret, but it could be inappropriate for YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's hope it's gonna be legal.
Yeah, let's say I just smoke a cigarette.
Okay. Um, Thanks a lot, everybody. It was nice to have you. All
Thank you,
this.
Phil, for calling me.
Yeah. Subscribe to Yellow Badge, subscribe to Empire of Rose on Telegram. All these links are in description. We might be talking with Stan some other time on geopolitics on Yellow Badge. We already had a chat for an hour or so, which was also, as people say, pretty much informative. And yesterday I also filmed a video on current events. If you want to know more of what's going on right now, what's going to happen soon, take a look there, because I am trying to push that content away from my main channel now, because I'm being censored too much and don't want to attract any more attention for this, geopolitical information. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye bye.